So this is my video. I'm gonna start my garden from scratch, and I bought the seeds. So we're gonna germinate our seeds. The way I did them, I put them in a napkin, and then I put the seeds in there, and then I put water. I spray them with water, and now we're gonna let them sit in a warm spot inside the house. I'm gonna put them actually inside my oven because it's warm in there. So I'm gonna keep them in there, and we're gonna let them germinate. So we got broccoli, pumpkin, tomato, beets, watermelon, cucumber, rosemary, squash, cantaloupe, sweet corn, cilantro, and lettuce. So today is February 18, and today we're gonna get it started. So here's our seeds that we put to germinate in the Ziploc bags, and they germinated. So now we're transferring them into our seed. Um, we're transferring our seed, and we're planting them in the dirt in the little containers, and then after 4 weeks we're gonna transfer them to a bigger container, and then wait for the weather to get hotter, and then we'll take them outside. But for now, see, we're transferring all our seeds into little so see, here's the trays, and I make sure I label every single one and put the date. And see, right now we're doing cucumber. So we're putting 2 seeds of cucumber in every little section. And now we're gonna spray them with a little bit of water on top, and then we put the date on all of them. And see, here we have seeds that are still germinating. We're waiting for them to, this one takes 6 to 8 days, the watermelon. We have tomatoes, 8 to 14 days. Rosemary, 10 to 20 days. And then we have cilantro, which is 15 to 20 days. And then we have cantaloupe. So I think this one's already germinated. So they're sprouting, the seeds sprouting. So we're gonna transplant them into the dirt, into this little small ones. And then we'll take them inside, because then they're gonna die with the cold outside, because we're in February 21st. And then we're gonna put the lamp and make sure we spray them with water. Make sure that they're never dry. They have to be moist. So now these seeds that I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna move this ones out of the way, and let me show you this ones. These seeds we put to germinate so they could sprout in a bag. So we did an experiment, so we put them in the bag with water, with a towel, and we put the date. It was 2/18. Today's 2/25, as you can tell. So this is the rosemary. It takes 10 to 20 days to open up the seed for it to sprout. So if we open the little napkin with the seeds inside, I can show you. So see, they already sprouted. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna transplant those ones into a plant, a little pot, so we could grow them. And this is rosemary. So it's ready for us to transplant. So all these plants that you see here, these ones were from those bags. So see, we had the watermelon, we had cantaloupe, we had tomatoes. So let me show you the tomatoes. The tomatoes, 8 to 14 days to sprout. Now we're gonna open the little bag and show you. So now, today we're gonna plant all this into little planters. I'm gonna use the 4 inches ones. I'm not gonna use these little ones right here, because what I found out, I'm trying to open this for you. See, you can see the seeds. They sprouted already. These are the tomatoes. So they're nice and pretty. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna transport them into little pots, 4 inches. And then we're gonna put the date on them and keep an eye on them. So what I wanted to show you, when The difference between these ones is that I planted them the same way. Once they sprouted, I planted them into these little pots. And these are the ones they sell at the store too. It comes in like a 10 pack. Yeah, but I cut them to make 6 plants. So this is lettuce. So see, it's growing really nice. We make sure that it's nice and moist. I make sure I water it every day. And I bring them outside so they could get sun. And I bring them outside here because this is a kind of, it's a gazebo that's covered. There's no insects that come in here. It has this protection area, so no animals come inside here. So that's why I feel comfortable leaving them out here. But this is the difference. So see here, the beets that are here planted, they haven't, I could see one little plant trying to come up in there. But see, it's not looking too good. So that's the difference between the other way, the other starter, the seed starters that we use. This is broccoli and it looks like it's doing pretty well. It's growing nice. So we have broccoli. And I spray the water on this. I make sure there's water on them, but not overwater them. So see, this is my experiment. The difference between using this regular starter, seed starter, than the other one that's over there. And everything's like growing so well. So when it gets a little bit bigger and the roots get a little bit stronger, I'm gonna transplant them into 4-inch containers that I got from the 99-cent store. So you get 8 of them for $1, or you could buy them somewhere else. So see the difference. So now, like today, I got the watermelon. They sprouted, so we're gonna put them in these containers. Once they grow a little bit more, we're gonna transplant them into bigger pots. But once winter's over. So here's our garden that we started on February 18. We planted all these seeds, and now we have, right here we have lettuce, we have pumpkin, we have tomatoes, cilantro, tomato, cantaloupe, sweet corn, squash, beets, rosemary. We have watermelon, broccoli, rosemary, and sweet corn, squash, cantaloupe, tomatoes, and beets. So this we planted on February 18, and look at all the plants that came out, and they're successful. They're all coming out. The only ones that haven't sprouted out is the rosemary, but the rosemary, in the instruction it says it takes 10 to 20 days to sprout, to germinate. So we're still waiting a little bit on the rosemary. Other than that, it all looks good. So I did an experiment. So this is the seed starters that they sell at the store. It comes in this container, and it has 72 little pockets, so you could plant all your seeds. So it looks like we're successful in it. It looks really good. Everything's growing really nice. So I bring it outside during the day, and then before the sun goes down, I bring it inside the house, because if not, they're all gonna die with the cold, because we're still in winter. It's still too cold to leave them outside. So after they grow a little bit more, when they're growing, we're gonna transplant them into this little containers, and I think this is 4 inches containers, because we still have to be bringing them inside the house. So what I'm gonna do, every day you can bring them outside, and then before the sun goes down, I put them in here, and then we're gonna bring them inside the house. And I have a lamp inside the house where we keep them nice, and we turn on the lamp at least for a couple of hours until we go to sleep, and then we turn it off. So today we're gonna transplant our tomatoes. So we have all our little seeds that sprouted. So we're gonna put them in these little pots, the 4 inches. And I have 2 different mixes, 3 mixes of dirt. And this is the dirt that we're using. I got this high performance organic all-purpose container mix. See, that's what I got. And then we have all natural organic vegetable soil, and then we're mixing that with this organic potting mix for all-purpose plants, organic garden. And then we're using this one. It's organic potting all-purpose plants, and it has the indoor outdoor, and it has the earthworm castings, which I heard those ones are good for your starting plants. So that's the soil we're mixing together, and I mix it here. So I mix the 3 soils, and then once I mix it, I put water in it and make sure it's nice and moist, but it's not over moist. And then once we do that, now that we mixed it and it has water in it, now we could start making our pots. See, it's moist, but not super moist. So then we get one of the pots, and we fill it up with dirt, and we press it down to make sure there's no air pockets on it. And now we're gonna plant some of our tomatoes. And just remember that every time you plant anything, make sure you put the date. You could use the little sticks that I used earlier, or today I'm using tape. So I put it on this tape, and then I'm gonna cut it. And then I'm gonna put it on the little pot here on the side. What it is and what date it was when I planted here. So I could pretty much have an idea. Like here we already planted the watermelon, and then we have cilantro. So see here we planted 4 of the tomatoes, and they're in there. So here's our seed starters for our garden. They're inside the house under the lamp. So see how nice and pretty they're growing so fast. Look at this one, so big now. So see, these ones I planted them yesterday from the bag. And see, they're right there. Let me go this way. See, you can see them. So see, the little plants, they grew from yesterday to today. So it looks like it's going well. Everything's nice and growing. So we started our seeds inside the house, and then we're gonna plant them outside once winter's over. Stay tuned for our future update.